Hi, welcome to today's video. So today's video is all about eyeshadow sticks, and in the last probably like 6-7 months I've basically slowly started moving towards cream-based shadows and basically shadow sticks, shadows in pots, basically a little away from powdered eyeshadow products, because I do have sensitive eyes, and I'm basically realizing as I'm growing older that it's just easier for me to use cream shadows because they just don't bother my eyes too much. So I've basically tried quite a few brands in the last 6-7 months. So I thought I'll just do a video like talking about all of them. And this is sort of like a roundup video of different shadow sticks I tried. A lot of them are actually pretty affordable, and not too many are actually in the high-end category. So let's get started. I'll talk about the eyeshadow stick that I didn't like at all first, and I think if you've watched my previous videos you would know which ones I'm going to be talking about. These are the shadow sticks from LA Girl, and this was from their summer collection. This was called the LA Girl Sun-Kissed Glow Long Wear Shadow Stick. Now I basically picked up two different shades, and one of them is called Cactus, which is like the darker shade, and the other one is called Suede Fringe, and that's the the lighter one out of the two that I picked up. I think they came out with a total of 4 shades, and this is no longer available at Ulta, but I think it's still available on LA Girl's website. I think at least the last time I checked, which was a few weeks ago, so I hope it's still there. I mean, in case you want them, because I personally didn't like them. So anyway, my main issue with this was that they are extremely difficult to work with. Now, shadow sticks, when I go for a shadow stick, I'm basically looking for a quick one and done type of a look, and maybe at the most add in maybe another color in the crease or like towards the outer corners of the eye. And I actually picked up the shade Cactus, which is the darker one out of the two, primarily to kind of use it in the outer corner of my eye. And this one just doesn't blend at all. It's like extremely patchy to apply, as well as it kind of, once it's on your skin, it just doesn't budge. So, and it doesn't budge in like in a bad way, in the sense that you just cannot blend it at all. So yeah, it's just going to look really patchy on your eyelids, and generally I found it a little bit dry compared to a lot of the other shadow stick formulas that I've tried. So yeah, this particular shade just didn't work. This particular shade, the one Suede Fringe, which is like the lighter shade, I can still kind of use it because I don't really need to worry too much about like blending it. I can just use it as a one and done kind of a shadow where I just put it all over my lid. But the problem again is because again it's a drier formula, it kind of does look a little bit patchy on your lids and kind of dry on the lids, so it just doesn't look very nice. Especially up close, it just looks like you have something cracking on your lids. It's not a very nice smooth look on your lids. So yeah, I think maybe it might even age your eyelids a little bit, when it starts looking a little bit too crusty there. I don't know. So anyway, so these two shadow sticks didn't perform well at all for me. And actually these were the cheapest shadows I think I tried. These were below $5 if I remember right. I in fact picked them up during a sale, so I think I paid like $2 or something for each one. So yeah, it's not too much of money lost, but I was kind of disappointed because the shades are actually quite nice, especially Suede Fringe. I do see that maybe I might once in a while at least try to make it work. I don't know. We'll see. This one was actually the tough one to make work. This one, if you actually swatch it, or even in the swatch that I probably inserted, you would have seen, it actually looks very nice in the swatch. You have a little bit of a gold sheen and you have like a green base, but on the eyes, the green base is more black, and I don't know, the gold just doesn't come through. So yeah, it was very disappointing that way. So these two, yeah, were not really the best shadow sticks that I've tried. Now the next one is also from the drugstore. Now this one, this is from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick, and I have this in the shade Magnetic Pull. This shade is probably not the best shade for my skin tone. If you have like a medium skin tone like me, I don't think this shade is going to look that good on your lids. I mean, It's probably going to look better, much better on, you know, people with extremely fair, pale skin, because I feel like the color would probably not look so dull. On my lids, this one, it's kind of more like it's like in between a matte and a shimmer. It's almost like a sheen. It has a sheen, there's no shimmer. So there's no shimmer, there's no metallic finish to it, at least when I apply it on my lids. It looks maybe not fully matte, but you know, like a matte with a slight sheen. And the shade as such, again, makes it look even more dull. So I'm not like super happy about the actual, you know, shade. Maybe some of the other shades might work slightly better for my skin tone. Maybe the other shades are also probably going to be a little bit more metallic than this. This one just didn't pack a punch. And I heard a lot of people talking about magnetic pull as being a very beautiful shadow. Maybe I'm basing off that on, you know, the people with like different skin tones. Like maybe if you have, like I said, a paler skin tone, this might actually look nice on you. But on my skin tone, it looks really dull. It kind of doesn't pack any punch. I mean, I'd rather not wear the shadow. But yeah, it does impart some amount of color. So what I've been doing is basically using this like in the outer corners a little bit if I want a little bit of dimension to my cream shadow look or something like that. But as an all over lid shade, this doesn't seem to work so well for my skin tone. It's actually a very nice lavenderish kind of shade. I was hoping that it would be a little bit more bright. But yeah, it is a bit too dull on my skin tone. I think maybe it's a skin tone thing, but yeah. The formula of the e.l.f. No Budge shadow sticks are actually quite nice, especially for the price point. I think these are like priced around $5, which I think is a very good price considering some of the higher end shadow sticks, which kind of are packaged similarly. They cost like $32, which is insane in my opinion. So yeah, so that way, you know, the price point works well, especially if you just look at the formula aspect of it. And of course, if you're somebody who's looking for like a shadow which has no shimmer, no sheen, no metallic finish, but not like a flat matte, then yeah, this works as well. So they do have a lot of shades, a lot of interesting colors as well. So if you are a little bit more adventurous than me and you want like some nice colorful shadow sticks on a budget, I think you should definitely look into the e.l.f. Shadow sticks. So yeah, so this is kind of like I don't want to actually put this in the bottom of my ranking. I'm not really doing a ranking, but yeah, I just happened to start with the shadow stick that I didn't really enjoy. That's all. But yeah, so this is okay. The formula is nice. It's just a shade thing and it's just a personal preference thing with this one. Now the next shadow I want to talk about, shadow stick, is from ColourPop, and this is the ColourPop Color Stick, and I have this in the shade Devotion, which is a metallic finish, and I think this was from one of their limited edition collections. I'm not sure. I don't keep track of ColourPop because they just keep releasing so many things almost every week. So I'm not sure if this is like a permanent shade or, you know, what's the deal with this. My primary goal of including this here is to just talk about my experience with the formula. Now the metallic finish, which is what this one has, is actually very nice. I really like this one. This has a slight little shift to it. It's not like just, I wouldn't call it a duochrome, but it basically has like a nice pinkish base, and it has like these sparkles which look really beautiful, and therefore, you know, it has a little bit of an extra dimension to it. It's not just a plain metallic eyeshadow, in my opinion, if I'm making sense. Yeah, maybe once you take a look at the swatch, you'll have a better idea of what I'm trying to talk about. This one, the formula, I found it to be a little bit more dry than some of the other shadow sticks that I like, but it's still usable. It's still not as dry as the LA Girl one, so I'm still happy to use this. This one I think is priced around $7 or $8, and if you look at the amount of product that you get, it's not much. So I think if you're going to do like some sort of a price per gram or price per ounce comparison, this is probably going to be a little bit more expensive than, you know, e.l.f. and some of the other products that I'm going to be talking about. So yeah, so unless you actually really like the formula and you like a particular shade, I don't think this is really much value for money. Or of course you're buying it on sale at ColourPop. So yeah, so I don't know about the full price, whether it's worth it. As you can see, even the size is quite small compared to, like, you know, this is the e.l.f. one. Let me see how many grams. The e.l.f. one, you're getting 0.05 ounce or 1.6 grams. And this one is 0.6 grams. Wow, that's like that's like really very small compared to this one. And they're pretty much the same price point. So yeah, so there you go. You know, the price per ounce, if you're doing the calculation, this is actually a little expensive. So anyway, this one is the formula, like I said, is a little bit more dry than maybe even the elf one. I think the elf is slightly more creamy than this, so I don't see myself buying any more color sticks from Colourpop. I mean, I like the shade. I'm going to definitely use this up, but I don't like the formula enough to maybe like pick another one up, unless of course they come out with some really cool shades. So yeah, the formula is just okay. So like I said, it's a little more dry. Now my favorite, if you are looking for a shadow stick which is not just metallic but you know has a little bit of sparkles in it, I highly recommend looking into K-Beauty shadow sticks. Now I have used a couple of them in the past. I think Peri Pera was one of the brands who had shadow sticks a while ago, and I've tried, but I don't have it anymore with me because it's probably expired. Those were pretty good, especially like I said, if you like a little bit of sparkle on your lids, you should definitely check out the K-Beauty shadow sticks. Now the only one I have right now with me from the K-Beauty world is from the brand I'm Mimi, I think that's how you pronounce it. I have this in the shade Rose Cape, 004 Rose Cape. This one is beautiful. I really like the formula. It's extremely creamy, very easy to apply, and it has pretty nice sparkles in it. So if you are looking for a nice sparkly metallic shadow stick, then I highly recommend this one. This one is a little bit more expensive than the elf and the Colourpop and everything. This one, I think on Amazon, where they have like their own official storefront, this is sold for roughly like 10 to 12 bucks. You can always use coupons. They do have coupons every now and then. So yeah, so that's one way to reduce the cost of this. And also I've seen this on several of the K-Beauty websites where they always go on sale for like half off. So these are great if you want to try like a sparkly metallic type of shade. And I really like this particular shade called Rose Cape. And if I remember right, they have only like some 4 or 5 different shades of these shadow sticks. So out of that, I think this was probably this one, and they had another taupe one which I might potentially pick up later. Yeah, so this one and the taupe one were the only one which actually caught my interest in terms of the color. And yeah, the formula is very nice. I really enjoy this. This one is like my fun shadow stick because it has those nice sparkles in there. And yeah, so these were the 2 shadow sticks that I have with me, which have some visible glitter specks or sparkles, as I'd like to call them, in addition to just being plain metallic shadow sticks. So yeah, now the next shadow sticks I'm going to be talking about are basically my favorite shadow sticks, and they are, in my opinion, the best budget eyeshadow sticks that you can get your hands on. And these are from Kiko Milano. And if you've watched any videos on my channel, you would know that I'm a huge fan of Kiko in general. And these shadow sticks are some of my favorite products from them, from their permanent line. And I have 3 different shades here. I have the shade number 46, I have shade 64, and I have shade, I think it's 006. Yeah, I think it's shade 06. I don't think they have a shade 90. So yeah, it's a shade 06. So the first shade that I'm going to talk about is shade number 46, basically. This one is basically duochromy. It has, again, a lot of shimmer specks in there, very similar to the I Am Meme one, but this one has got a little bit more of a duochrome effect on your lids. And this kind of shifts between purple and green and a whole lot of in between. It's a very beautiful shade. Unfortunately, I think I don't see this anymore on Kiko's website, so I'm not sure if they're getting rid of this shade, but I think it's still available on Ulta if you like this particular one. Now the next shade that I have in this range is 64, which is like a very nice coppery shade. This is an easy to throw on everyday kind of shade for me. A nice warm copper, so coppery bronze actually. And yeah, this one also very easy to use like the formula of all of these, the Kiko sticks. They all like, they just glide on like butter. They don't crease on me. They are like generally pretty long wearing in my opinion, and very comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel heavy on your lids or patchy on your lids. It just looks really beautiful. Very, very refined looks if you use them. So yeah, very happy with these. The last one that I want to talk about is the shade 06, and 06 is also one of my favorite shades. It's actually one of my favorite shadow sticks in my collection. I really like the shade. Again, this is like an effortless, ready to go out the door kind of a shade. You just put this all over your lid and you're just set to go. It's just stunning. It looks really classy. It looks very polished, with very little effort. And the shadow sticks, like I said, they don't crease, although they're quite creamy in formula. In fact, I think the I Am Meme one, in terms of creaminess, is very similar to these. So yeah, I think I would rate all of these together as like, the top. I do have one more shadow stick to talk about, by the way, but yeah, I would definitely club these together. Now these ones are priced, I think, around 11 or 12 bucks. And again, with Kiko, I think on Ulta, you can use Ulta's coupons on Kiko. And even Kiko's website have sales every now and then. So you can definitely get these for below the, list price of like 11 or 12 bucks that they are. And they're really good for the price. In fact, if I remember right, I have used Kiko Milano eyeshadow sticks in the past, at least easily 5 years ago. Also, I have used them. And I think they had a couple of shades which were very similar, which were kind of dupes to the By Terry shadow sticks, which were actually, I think they were considered to be the first, I think, even before Laura Mercier to release the shadow stick concept. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's something like that. I mean, anyway, there was a point of time where everybody was going crazy over By Terry's shadow sticks, and Kiko Milano basically had exact shade dupes for them. I no longer remember which shades they were, but yeah, but the formula is really nice and extremely comparable to the By Terry ones, because I did have By Terry as well a couple of years ago, and I really enjoyed using the By Terry shadow sticks as well. So if you like the formula of By Terry's shadow sticks, these are extremely affordable, equally good options in my opinion. So yeah, my favorite. And the last one I want to talk about is something that is more recent to my collection. This is from Tarte. Now Tarte has these things called Quick Stick, and they basically come with a shadow stick in one end, and they have like a liner in the other end. So this is basically what the liner looks like. It's a nice, I don't know how long you can maintain that fine tip. I have used this liner only a couple of times, so it's still got the tip on it, but yeah, I'm guessing after a point it's going to be a little bit more stubby. And yeah, this particular shade that I have is called Taupe Luster, and the matching eyeliner is in black. So I really like the shade. In fact, this is what I'm wearing on my lids today, if you want to see. Yeah, so Taupe Luster, it kind of matches very well with my shirt basically. The color is just the same, this kind of, I don't know, beigey wheatish kind of shade. So yeah, so basically this one, again, like the Kiko Milano and the I Am Meme shadow sticks, I Mimi shadow stick, it glides on really easily. It's extremely easy to use. And the shadow stick, the liner part of it is also really nice. It's extremely creamy, so you get like very nice, one swipe full color. The only problem I have with the Tarte one is that these are priced at, I think, like $25 a piece, which is quite pricey. It's probably the most expensive one that I have here. I actually picked this up on a sale, so I didn't pay 25 bucks. I don't remember how much I paid, but yeah, I think I picked it up during Black Friday, so I probably got a good deal on it. But yeah, generally, so these are quite expensive, and if I have to choose between, these and the Kiko Milano ones, I would definitely pick up the Kiko Milano solely because of the price, because performance-wise, I find them to be very comparable. They are, equally creamy. They last for the same amount of time on my lids. I do have dry eyelids, I have to mention that. So most of the time, I don't have too many problems with shadows creasing on me. And I do have like deep set hooded eyes. So in general, I do have like those folds there. So yeah, maybe like after a couple, like 10 hours or so, I do sometimes notice some level of settling, but that happens with like almost any shadow, even with powder eyeshadow, just because of the nature of my lids. But for the most part of the day, I generally don't experience any, like creasing or like eyeshadow fading away or anything because I have dry lids. And yeah, my point being that the longevity of both of these are pretty much the same. So yeah, for the price point, I would just generally go for the Kiko one. So the formula wise, yes, I would say the Tarte is like pretty good, as good as the Kiko. So basically as good as By Terry in my book. So yeah, overall, I'm very happy with the Tarte one as well. But if you would like to try the Tarte, I highly recommend picking it up on a sale because I do think 25 bucks is a bit high. But at the same time, if you look at the pricing for Laura Mercier, yeah, this would probably be cheaper than that. And plus you're getting an eyeliner as well. So yeah, it depends on what your scheme of things is and your way of thinking, like how you want to approach the whole shadow stick thing. Like if you're going to be buying multiples, then yes, go with Kiko versus this. If you just want one and you want a liner as well, maybe this is fine. Pick it up on a sale. So yeah. And actually Tarte did come out with a holiday set where they had 3 of these in one one gift set, and I think that was priced pretty well, and I was very tempted to pick it up. But the thing is that each one of them comes with a liner, and these liners have a shelf life of only like 6 months. So yeah, so I was a little bit nervous about using so many trying to use up so many liners in 6 months was a little bit too much for me. So I basically didn't buy it, but right now it's on sale on Tarte's website, so I'm kind of tempted to pick them up as well. So let's see. If I do pick it up, I will show it in one of my, couple of videos later, maybe when I finally get it in my hand. I don't know. I'm still like sitting on it and thinking about it. But yes, overall, like I said, I'm really happy with the formula of the Tarte one as well. Anyway, so I will stop blabbering, and I hope you're having a great week, and I will see you again in another video. And I hope you found this video helpful. So anyway, bye.